Alright, so the round 3 of the series tournament is oh, this is when the maps start to go downhill, I think. It's not too terrible yet, but it's a sign that the next maps are going to be worse, I think.
There's one good strong spot.
Yeah, that's a good whatever you want there. Can be a scientist, can be a scavenger, can be I don't know, anything really expensive robot. I'd be tempted to go scientist there because, well, actually, can you fit a scientist there? I don't think so. Oh, well, you can't do directly
No.
adjacent to iron, but you can generally fit it in there, I guess.
You would just have to hope somebody doesn't just grab water then.
Well, peasant is going for for a scavenger, but he's doing it really far away from water. I'm a bit confused by that.
Probably because he wants to be adjacent to the solar condensers on the ice. On the
Yeah, that's an argument. I'm not sure if I would prefer solar power, solar condensers over a whole pile of water. He's also a bit closer to
Rainbow
silicon, I guess, but
is
that's
doing
another
something
game.
very, very interesting.
That's courageous, is how I'd put it. I've seen. I think what Rainbow might be thinking to do something that I've seen from him in the casuals tournament, where he just went for a Peyton Lab on HQ level 2, got teleportation, and just steamrolled from there. Mm, that's a thing you can do, but I'm generally not a fan of it, especially not with the double chem price. That's going to be very, very difficult to pull off. There are no pirates, so he might survive a little bit with distant water.
But there are magnetic storms, so it can hurt his steel a lot.
Yes, but most people don't use magnetic storms actually, so there's something to be said about this being a decent play. Meanwhile, we have two expansives. I'm not sure what to think about them. I think I prefer Rhahi's spot because of the aluminium adjacency. Also, a very good second iron tile there on the cave.
Ooh. You know, there are core samples in the map.
There are core samples, that's a good point. Bit interested in what you might be willing to core sample. Peasant is going really heavy into basic resources, which is a bit questionable in my opinion, because he doesn't have that much aluminium and glass at a double price. So you don't really need two quarries yet, even though they would be cool.
And he's paying $100 a second for fuel. Which is slowly just increasing.
I wonder what he wants to do in HQ level 3. He probably wants to move into glass, but that means he's stuck. Heavily stuck in that, because he also has this lone nuclear reactor, so...
Talk to me about Rainbow here.
Well, he's doing it. Called it.
The black market is open for business.
It can work out. I mean,
if you can manage it, that'd be perfect.
It would be really well set up. I think the best thing you can do against this sort of a play at this point, especially on Ceres, is just to outpace him. Just rush upgrades ASAP, try to make all the money in the world, and do basically the same thing that Polina and Gameslayer did in our previous games. Just buy everybody else quickly before they can have these late game benefits. Because you can't really attack this very efficiently, this patent lab. And magnetic storms are meaningless at this point.
Yeah, but he spent like what, 14 grand on just teleportation?
Yeah, he did. And that's what I mean. He's going to be behind, so you just need to outpace him and kill him before he becomes relevant.
Yep, and that's why the freeze kicks in. His fuel.
Yeah, the freeze is. I mean, he's a scientist. He can shrug it off. Now the overload on the adorfield reactors is something much more interesting. I'm not sure if Rainbow Ideology is really the person who needs to make such a play because he's not really making power at all. So he's currently feeding money into Rhahi and Peasant. Peasant, by the way, upgraded to 3, but I don't really see anything meaningful by him. He's still shipping on tons of silicon, which is worthless. He's moving into power, but life support is really high at this point, so he's not going to be efficient at repaying debt. I'm a little bit confused as to what he wants to do. If I was him, I would seriously consider just buying auction a tile and just get those extra claims to make cash at this point.
Ooh, I like what Rainbow has done now.
Has he created the tile?
He's created the silicon tile.
That's really cool. I mean, he still is ways off from slum drilling, but it's cool, I guess.
He was close to the base.
And that's costing him another 17k or so, or 18k, I guess. He did push to HQ level 3, and he's also in debt, which is going to be, I mean, naturally, if you're not making food, if you're not making power, and if you're throwing circuit overloads over people who are...
Yes, especially as a scientist, you can
yeah, he's
out of control with power.
I want to say the circuit overload on adorfield is actually a big mistake on his part. Because it's hurting both of you, essentially. Even though I don't think it's helping others that much, it's just hurting you.
There's the overload.
Peasant is somehow ahead on upgrades, but he also isn't really making any cash, and he's staying in that. So he needs to commit all the 4 claims of his into... But I don't see, well, what did he claim? He claimed more water. I just don't agree with that. He needs to make money. He needs secondary buildings. He needs glass, maybe. He definitely needs food.
An expansive HQ has been upgraded.
Yeah, that silicon plate is just really not good for Peasant, I think. Just her shooting him in the foot so heavily. Meanwhile, Rhahi's making glass. So she's moving into power. She's not really making a lot of life support. So that's also a problem for her. It looks like everybody is going to be in C or D debt. In this game, no one is going to make any power money ever.
What he needs is either perpetual motion or just cold fusion at that point.
Cold fusion would be a really powerful play for Rainbow, but just upgrading and making cash and repaying your debt is really important for him. Much more important than any patents whatsoever. Just move into more reactors, just get food as soon as possible. I'm not sure where he did the core sample, over there.
I just heard it.
Oh, you know what he was trying to do? I think he wanted to get some water on over salt and build distant farms over there.
Ah, that would be a nice strategy.
And while I was talking, Adorfield bought a peasant who just wasn't making cash. Again, you have to make cash. You can't just rely on a ton of cheap silicon to save you.
And now Rhahi is buying adorfield for him out, which is now his penalty.
And it's possible that she's going to buy him out because he left himself undefended. But unlike Peasant, he's actually making cash. He has 5 farms, which is a bit of an overcommitment usually, but I think I support it wholeheartedly this game. Because no one was making food forever, and still isn't. Well, Peasant started, I guess. I'm not sure if he started or his sub-AI started, but Adorfield might be able to defend himself. Oh, but there's a freeze. It's really getting difficult. Rhahi should be really close. They have the same amount of money, but Rhahi isn't frozen. This is
16.
And
Ouch.
Rainbow is killing
Rainbow helped
himself.
him. No.
I mean, what do you... you're in D debt. You can't really afford... You really want as many people to stay in this game as possible and prolong this game as much as possible so that you can repay the debt. Or
And
you
he
want to finish
wasted
the game.
like just that one stock as well.
Yeah, alternatively you want to finish the game quickly, but I'm not sure he can buy Rhahi out. Rhahi is really expensive. And he's making good money, but he's now actually spending the money to upgrade. And Rhahi is making excellent money as well with from peasants. Soon should start making money with from adorfield as soon as the freeze wears off. Well, it's looking really good for her. It's not really looking very good for Rainbow. She can just start buying into him because he's dirt cheap.
He also needs to start buying his own stock rapidly as possible instead of ignoring it. There you go.
How could one refuse such a wonderful plot of
So
land?
how much do we need? We need only 200k, and even less as his stock price will keep plummeting.
Because of the power, how much has he actually paid for power? 206k.
Interest charges.
So,
Ooh, that's a good question. Another 100k. Close. Close to another
Oh my.
100k with interest charges. And considering there's another one coming up.
Yep, they just keep coming on Ceres.
the black market is open for business.
That didn't look how much it cost him.
Upgraded.
We can actually look here.
36,000.
Yep.
Oh, water is so good. Water is very, very good.
And Rhahi has those solar condensers making 10 water per second at this point. And surprisingly, no one else has ice condensers, solar condensers. Well, now the AI has, but
Yeah, Rahi's been sitting there the
that's
longest time.
the solar flare is just a gift. Just finish this game, please. Now Rainbow is
I will
buying.
be amazed if... Ooh, actually... Hold that thought.
Yeah, Rainbow is buying the stock, making himself more expensive. And at this point, Rhahi is really concerned, and he is making good money, so there's reasons to be concerned. But if you're going to spend 150k on defending
Black
yourself,
market
well,
is online.
are you sure you can't just finish him off before then?
The local union rep is available to the highest bid.
Now, taking auctions for Rainbow is really dangerous because he's on the verge of getting bought out. But at the same time, you don't want to be hurt.
Congratulations.
No one has really moved in for an optimization, have they?
It's a bit understandable. It's a very short game so far. Um, and Rhahi can probably pull this out without an optimization center, honestly, and everybody else just died before they could do it. Both Adderfield and Peasant were bought out on HQ level 4. So it's not good maybe that they didn't have one, but it's also completely natural that they didn't have the time to do it. I'm not sure I would be willing to buy sub stock because that's expensive, and yeah, it's gonna make you money, but you can just finish the game as quickly as possible. Even though Peasant is making superb money in the moment. He has moved into a lot of carbon, so transitions for him are going to be cheaper than for most subs, usually.
Transition to a lot of reactors on that subsidiary.
No, life support is still excellent, so They're making him $300 a second. Yeah, this should be over. So unfortunately, GameSlayer was bragging a little bit too soon, I think. Rhahi has the money, just has to realize that it's over, and there we
Just
go.
realize that. There you go.
Get
New
Salt.
player with the fastest soul.
Salt 15.
I kind of want to see how salty Game Slayer is going to be now after this.
No, I don't think he's gonna be salty. I mean, whatever. He will be salty if it decides the outcome of the tournament for him in some way. What? This game. Yeah, basically, as peasant, you want to make money to be able to defend yourself. As adorfield, I guess you want to defend yourself before attacking. It was a good move, but it was a bit too risky and it didn't pay off. As Rainbow Ideology, you want to have a sane strategy next time. And as Rhahi, good game. that's my sum up.
Let's see. Let's look at the leader. Let's look at the board here. So it's only 2 back with the current win that's in the lead.
Yeah, well, obviously we need to wait for the other 2 rounds to finish, because who knows what they might end up being. If we take a
And look,
quick,
Rhahi made almost $200,000 in just power.
nice. I didn't really look at those. Yeah. I mean, she just went for a very basic, very simple setup, and it just so happened that I think
I mean, it worked out.
that yeah, the stock play this game just was very strange. So she came on top out of all of it, which really hurt Rainbow, obviously, who was going for a very late game strategy again. And
It would have been best if he'd gone to power earlier.
it would have been best if he had a better found, honestly. Like, you could have
That too.
found.
He was working perfectly with the core samples. I like that very much. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah, that was good, I guess, but the problem is that he was a scientist who went for a Patent Lab on HQ level 2 with double price cams, and no power production, no life support production for a while, and he was indeed dead for a reason. And he could have founded Scavenger on top where we were talking, because there was still good carbon available for him. He could have founded Scavenger to the south of Peasant. There was 2 medium tiles, and again, you have core samples, so you can always add to that carbon when it diminishes. Not sure what else he could have done, but those are, I think, 2 very reasonable founds.
Well, let's see what's everyone else now doing.